everyone, welcome to week 3 of Little Sparks Online presented by the Long Island Explorium. Thank you so much for tagging along with us the last 2 weeks, and this week our theme is called Sow and Grow. So we're going to actually use some of those seeds that we hunted down last week, and we're going to learn all about what we're celebrating this week. So first and foremost, I wanted to read you guys a little snippet from one of my favorite books called We Are the Gardeners, and it's by Joanna Gaines, as in Chip and Joanna Gaines from the show Fixer Upper. They wrote a really cool book about their family and how sometimes when they are doing their gardening, a lot of the time things don't always go according to plan, but you have to keep trying. So let's read the little snippet first and then we'll get to our experiment. So if you want to check this book out on Amazon or online, again, it's called We Are the Gardeners, and it's written by Joanna Gaines and kids. She has 4 kids, I think 5 kids now, actually. Our family's garden story began with one small potted fern. Dad stumbled upon it at the hardware store when he ran in for some supplies. He said it was just too cute to leave behind, and he thought that it would make Mom smile. And it did. We chose a sunny windowsill for the pretty little fern. It seemed like a good, safe spot for him to grow. This was back when we were little kids, but we still remember visiting the plant each day to give him a drink, and sometimes we would even whisper to him. So notice how all 4 kids have watering cans? Keep that in mind. Then, plot twist, out of nowhere, our little fern just wilted and died. Death by overhydration. That's a fancy way of saying we gave him way too much water. Looking back, each one of us must have watered him every single day. That's a lot of drinks for one little plant. By mistake, we loved that plant to death. Some people tell themselves they are no good at something after one small failure, but no chances that we were going to give up on him that easily. So that was good, right? They kept trying their hardest. We checked out some books from the library. We found out that ferns are a little tricky and they prefer to live in the shade. So not only did they not give up, but they learned a little bit extra about what might work better next time. Apparently, a plant's leaves can communicate to us what they are needing. We also learned that plants have good manners and they like to just sip their water, not gulp. Lesson learned. Interesting, so we can listen to nature and see what it really needs. Dad got us a fresh fern, and with it came a fresh hope. This time, we set the pot up on our piano on the other side of the room where it wasn't too sunny. We made a watering schedule, and we took turns saying a lot of nice things to the sprout of our plant. And the fern, number 2, lived and thrived and grew, and finally, Mom got him a little potted friend. Look at all this. And then another, and then 2 more, and we started to notice that talking to our plants helped them grow bigger and stronger. So we added some songs and jokes into the mix, and unlike when we overwatered, now 0 of our plants died from talking to it too much. Pretty soon the plants were taking over the house, and Dad said it was a good time to graduate to outdoor gardening. Mom was really excited about the new garden as we were, and she started talking about it with a dreamy look in her eyes. So that's when Dad called a family meeting so we could come up with a real plan. So here's the next. I won't read any more, but they're drawing things out. They're going to experiment with it and see which plants like what. And the rest is yours to find out if you ever go ahead and read this book. But I wanted you guys to notice 2 super important things about that part of the story. The first one was that when they ran into some trouble, the kids did not give up. And the second part that I wanted you guys to notice was that they did a lot of tinkering and experimenting. They tried out all sorts of different styles for each plant, and they paid attention to what worked and what did not work. So, here's what we're going to do today. Last week, we went on a seed hunt inside our houses, and I had found this really cool jar of wild rice, all sorts of colors. If you have any rice or dried beans or lentils or even quinoa, or if you have actual seeds in a seed packet, we are going to plant them today in the coolest way possible. So you're going to need your seeds from last week. You're going to need a little bowl of water, not too much. You're going to need a paper towel, and then you can do a glass jar, but my favorite way to do it is a Ziploc baggie and some tape. This way you can actually tape your seeds growing to the window, and you can really keep an eye on them every morning when you wake up. So here's all we have to do. First things first, take your Ziploc baggie or your jar and get some kind of marker or sticky note to write on it. I'm going to just use a Sharpie, and I'm going to write right on the bag. I'm going to put my name, and I'm going to put rice. That's our rice seeds that we're growing. And I'm going to put today's date, 4/19. So that's how I know when I started it. Because in 7 days, so in 1 week, I'm going to take a peek inside here and notice if anything's changed. Here's another thing that I wanted to tell you guys. Seeds need 5 important things to survive. They need sunshine, they need water, they need air, they need something to snuggle in, like either soil, dirt, or a paper towel. And the last thing that they need is personal space. You can't grow too many seeds close to each other because they feel too squished. So like with Fern in the book, you can't water too many plants too much, or they might feel like they're getting overwatered. Some plants are the opposite. They do like lots of water. So you have to pay attention to what your plant likes. Here's our next step. We're going to take our paper towel and dunk it in some water. And then all I'm going to do is give it a squeeze. It should have no more drips coming out of it, but just be wet. A good way to tell is if you lift it up and open it and no drips come off, okay? So I'm going to take my wet paper towel, fold it in half, and then in half again. Got it? Then I'm going to put my paper towel inside my Ziploc bag. There we go. Now I know this seems silly, but actually this is the perfect and coziest home for a seed to grow. So my paper towel is snuggled inside my Ziploc bag, and now I'm ready for almost the last step. I'm just going to take, I think, like 3 seeds or 2 seeds to start, because remember what I said, seeds do not like to be squished. So I'm going to take 2 different types of rice from my multicolor rice. I'll take a darkish one and a lightish one, and I'll take a medium one. I'll put these 3. I'm going to put them not just inside the Ziploc, but I'm going to put them inside the paper towel too. They each have a little bit of room. I'm going to snuggle them in there. And then I am not going to zip the bag up all the way, because what was something that plants need? They need some air. So I'm just going to zip it just halfway and give them a little bit of air. This little spot that I zipped, that's a good spot for the tape to go. There we go. I'll put my tape on here. And the last step is to find the sunniest window in my house and tape it right on the window. Every day I can take a little peek inside there, see if they're growing. But the coolest part is, and I think you guys can see this in the video, you can see my little pieces of rice right in there. See that one? So I can see when it finally sprouts. So that's our little treat that we are giving back to Mother Earth on Earth Day. Now remember, Earth Day is April 22nd, and it's a great way to spend almost like a Mother's Day on the planet, Mother's Day celebration for the planet. So I hope that all of you have a great Earth Day, and that you help celebrate our Mother Earth, and that maybe you add a new sprout or 2 to our planet. Take care, guys. I'll see you next time.